Before Rome was a republic or an empire, it was ruled by kings, 7 according to legend, beginning with Romulus. These kings built temples, laws, and the first great sewers, shaping the city's foundations. But the last king, Lucius Tarquinius Superbus, Tarquin the Proud, was different. He seized power through violence, ruling by fear, not consent. Tarquin murdered his predecessor, aided by his ruthless wife Tullia. He ignored the Senate, surrounded himself with guards, and treated Rome as his property. Yet under his rule, Rome grew. He built the Temple of Jupiter and the Cloaca Maxima and expanded the city's reach. But these achievements came at a cost: forced labor, cruelty, and resentment. The people marveled at Rome's growth, but hated the tyrant who built it on their backs. The city simmered with anger. The old respect for law and senate was eroding. The Romans, proud and independent, could only endure so much. Tension mounted, waiting for a spark. It wouldn't be war or invasion that ended the monarchy. It would be a single, shocking act that changed Rome forever. The breaking point came not in battle, but in Lucretia's home. While the army besieged Ardea, the king's son, Sextus Tarquinius, became obsessed with Lucretia, famed for her virtue. He returned to her house alone and at night threatened her with violence and dishonor. Faced with an impossible choice, Lucretia submitted to protect her reputation. But at dawn, she summoned her husband, father, and friends, revealing the crime. She demanded vengeance, declared her innocence, and, unable to bear the shame, took her own life. Her death was more than a tragedy, it was a political earthquake. The king's own son had committed the crime, exposing the corruption at Rome's core. Lucretia's blood became a symbol of all that was wrong with Tarquin's rule. The outrage was immediate and profound. The Romans saw in her death the final proof of tyranny. The city's anger, long suppressed, was about to erupt. Lucretia's sacrifice became the spark for revolution. Her story would ignite the flames of change. Rome would never be the same. In the aftermath, an unlikely leader emerged, Lucius Junius Brutus, long thought a fool. Brutus had survived Tarquin's purges by feigning stupidity, hiding his true intelligence. Now he seized the moment, raising the bloody dagger from Lucretia's chest. He swore an oath never again would Rome be ruled by a king. The others, inspired, swore the same. Brutus turned private grief into public action, carrying Lucretia's body to the Forum. There he spoke to the crowds, denouncing Tarquin's crimes and tyranny. The people, moved by his words and Lucretia's fate, rose up. Brutus called for the banishment of the royal family. The citizens, united in outrage, voted to depose their king. The revolution began, not by conspiracy, but by a spontaneous uprising led by a man once dismissed as a fool. The age of kings was ending. Rome was on the brink of something new. News of the uprising reached Tarquin at Ardea. He rushed back, but the city gates were barred. Rome had turned against him. Brutus, meanwhile, won over the army by telling Lucretia's story. Tarquin's own soldiers abandoned him. With nowhere to turn, Tarquin fled into exile, the last king of Rome. For centuries, Rome had been ruled by kings. Now monarchy was finished, tainted by tyranny. The Romans celebrated, but faced a new challenge: how to govern themselves. Determined to prevent another tyrant, they created a republic. Power would be shared, not held by one man. 2 consuls, elected annually, would lead, each able to veto the other. This system of checks and balances was revolutionary. The monarchy was dead, the republic was born. The republic divided power once held by kings. 2 consuls, elected yearly, led the state and army, accountable to the people. The Senate, once ignored by tyrants, now gained real influence, guiding policy and finances. Senators, mostly patricians, held their positions for life, providing stability. The people, through assemblies, elected officials and voted on laws. Even so, the system favored the wealthy, and tensions between patricians and plebeians simmered. The revolution that ousted Tarquin became legend, a symbol of liberty over tyranny. But the republic was fragile, facing internal strife and external threats. Rome had rid itself of a king, but new challenges awaited. The hope of self-government was real, but so were the dangers. The journey of the republic had just begun. Rome would rise, fall, and rise again. Its destiny forever changed. The story of Rome's republic was only beginning.